Yeah. Okay. So good morning, good afternoon, everybody. This is Simone Ranucci speaking. I'm the president of the Italian Insurtech Association, and welcome to this interesting new event from IIA. We have seen a few weeks ago how the digital customer is increasing its presence in the insurance industry. We closed 2020 with 32% as a target to the insurance digital customer, considering the overall insurance client potential. This is growing. And we expect this number to reach 82% by 2030 and 100% by 2040. That means in 2 years, the majority of insurance clients will be digital customers, digital clients. We have seen how this client has new needs, starting from new ways of engagement, new products, new way of communication, of building, of active customer relationship. Well, we need to take into consideration that in the short term, new channels, new methodology of building, and the new relationship marketing instruments will be activated in order to increase the penetration of digital insurance product on our market. And this will be a great news for the market because, as we always say, the digitalization of the insurance industry will bring an increase in terms of penetration of insurance products, especially in some geographies, like, as a matter of fact, the Italian one, where the penetration of insurance is not enough. Okay, so the usage of new channels will definitely increase penetration, will increase culture in terms of insurance product, and will also increase customer engagement and then satisfaction. Well, today is a great occasion because we can share together with all of you and then the rest of the Italian Insurtech community the results of the brilliant research that we have activated on in this direction that we believe will be very high potential. If from one side we are still behind on traditional digital channels like web and mobile app and push activity that are on the market but still have to grow in terms of dimension, there are other channels that will be instrumental for the distribution of the insurance product or for the engagement of digital insurance customers. We talked today about WhatsApp. WhatsApp as a sales and distribution and customer engagement tool. Well, this is obvious because as it came from the research on digital customers that we have done last year, the customers are asking for new social language, new social channels, and they want to see insurance products closer to them in terms of presence, effectiveness of purchase, and easiness of understanding, also from a language point of view. So the white paper that will be presented today is will give us some insights and also hopefully some ideas on how to start working on the future of digital distribution in a more effective way. Clearly, there are a lot of open points that as a Italian Insurtech Association and as a community we need to face. There are typical issues of new channels, data management, technical integration, language, regulation. But I'm definitely sure that in the next years we will see all these problems solved with new opportunities. Before to leave the ground to the well-prepared, valuable speaker, and in particular to the opening of Tommaso Ramadoro, I want to remember to all the associates that in the next weeks will be called to enter in the new chapters. So we have organized the Italian Insurtech Association in different vertical chapters that will be at all the let's say, operative tables around specific topics. This will be extremely valuable for you and an active way to participate with Italian Insurtech Association works. Said that, I want to thank all the participants, all the organizer, all the presents, and I leave the word to Tommaso Ramadoro. Have a fantastic time. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Simone. Thank you. So my name is Tommaso Ramadoro. I work for White Group, the insurance brokerage firm, as a data scientist. I contributed to writing this research paper sponsored by the Italian Insurtech Association. So the research paper is about WhatsApp and how WhatsApp can be integrated within the insurance industry with particular focus on the Italian market. So I'll give you a brief overview of the structure of the paper. So it starts with an introduction of WhatsApp and why it has been chosen as a case study. We've seen many application of instant messaging apps applied to business in general and to the insurance industry in mainly emerging markets, and we've decided to analyze WhatsApp for different reasons, and in chapter 1 we give these reasons. The reasons involve the number of users and penetration within the Italian markets, and the many functionalities which you know, distinguish WhatsApp. Chapter 2 goes on giving an overview of some successful use cases at international and national level. We received a great contribution from our international friends from India and the USA, which gave us a good you know, understanding of what's going on over there. So in this chapter we analyze specific use cases, starting from Europ Xceedance in Italy, which is a successful you know, in integration of WhatsApp, example of WhatsApp integrated within an insurance company, and some international use cases in India and Belgium, starting from Generali to AXA. So we then go on to chapter 3, which is goes back to the Italian market, and in particular it explains what are the main challenges and difficulties in integrating WhatsApp, starting from data protection and data security, technical challenges, and regulation. Chapter 4 then goes on to conclusions on the potential of implementing WhatsApp, but also outlining what the benefits are, and the potentialities. Do you hear me? Yeah, sorry, the video's gone. Okay, so yeah, so my colleagues that contributed to this paper is a team of 10 people, made of you know, people from different companies with different backgrounds and different ages and different countries as well. So it's quite interesting to see people from different areas of the insurance industry bringing their knowledge, and in particular the people with different ages. In particular, we had Alex from Axieme, who's I think is attending now. It was only 18, and he gave a great angle on how younger generations actually interact with WhatsApp, and how this may impact on what the potentials are in implementing WhatsApp within the insurance industry, and the impacts that it will have on future generations, which will become, you know, the new policyholders. So this was really interesting, and it was really interesting getting Mike and Manik from Xceedance involved, which gave a really good you know, experience on what's going on abroad, and you know, what's going on in countries which usually you know, lead innovation within the insurance space. So they will give you you know, more detail on the paper. Yeah, Jerry.
Thank you so much, Tommy. And good evening, everyone. I'm Gerardo di Francesco, General Secretary of the Italian Insurtech Association, and this evening I'll drive you through our panelists discovering this amazing white paper. And we will start, of course, with chapter 1, that is a brief introduction about the white paper and the reason why the group of work decided to work on this field. And I'll let the floor to Pasquale Saviano in order to drive us in the content of the chapter 1. From my point of view, it was an amazing chapter. I mean, the first data that shocked me was the penetration in the population, the Italian population of WhatsApp. I mean, when it comes to the digital issues, get used to see Italy in the bottom of every ranking, and in that case, I saw that we lead these ranks. So, Pasquale, I let you the floor and drive us into chapter 1.
Thank you, Gerardo, for your introduction. I'm the CEO at Photocert. We help insurance companies to speed up claim and onboarding process using certified pictures. And recently, we are also starting to use WhatsApp to have also the possibility, other than sending SMS for our clients, to also leverage the usage of WhatsApp messages. As Gerardo was already telling you, the first chapters deals with the data and the potentiality of a WhatsApp business, and we focused mainly on Italy as a country of interest for the data, because actually, for the data that you will find in the chapter, you will, as Gerardo said, you will see in terms of adoption, WhatsApp has been used as in Italy very much. We noticed that Italy is in second place as a population penetration. So on 60 million in terms of a population in Italy, which actually includes also all ages from 0 to 100 plus, we have 30 million of users. And this is also why we don't speak at all about WhatsApp competitors in this chapter, in this paper, since in terms of penetration, WhatsApp wins. While in terms of features or in terms of functionalities, WhatsApp is far behind other competitors, like, for example, WeChat in China. So think that WeChat is known also as the app for everything. So they have the possibility to create apps that run in WeChat. And in China, they already use WeChat for payments. It's more than 5 years that they're doing that, which is something that started now to be accepted also for WhatsApp business. And in India, it started in 2020, for example. And based on the news from Facebook, that you know that owns WhatsApp, we will see that the payments for WhatsApp business is a feature that we will see soon also in Europe and Italy as well. I wanted to tell you at least something about the competitors, because while we were writing this paper, more than once we had a strange feeling. I still remember there was Tommaso, Alex, and I working together as and all of a sudden, while reading aloud some paragraphs, we start to stare to each other and said, "Oh, guys, it sounds too much like a sales paragraph rather than information paragraph." So please remember that we are not working for WhatsApp, Facebook, and neither Mark Zuckerberg asked us to write this. And so also please consider this paper as something to read in case you want to actually consider WhatsApp business as an alternative channel to what you are currently doing as insurer, But of course, to accomplish your goal, there might be also other alternatives. So going back to chapter 1, another key element to take away is currently the fact that WhatsApp Business is used for, especially for customer support in claims, for example, and marketing purposes like lead generation, cross-selling, and so on. And the fact that it's a very good opportunity, and it's not only the penetration itself, but also the fact that we own only one or maybe two mobile numbers or mobile phones, while the overall strategy for WhatsApp has been based on the approach on something that in chapter 2 the colleagues will explain a little bit better, which is the templates. And these templates will avoid the spread of spam, and that's also why we already have experience with emails with a lot of spam. This is something that won't happen that much with WhatsApp. So I prefer to to close my part here and to leave the conversation to the other people so that we can spare some time more for the Q&A at the end. I leave the word to Gerard.
Thank you so much, Pasquale. And yeah, I mean, actually, I spent part of my life in China, and the first times I arrived in Beijing in 2008, and before the Olympics game. And yeah, I was shocked by the penetration of WeChat and how people used WeChat almost 12 years ago to perform payment. And today, China, my wife works with China a lot, and yeah, WeChat is a kind of dimension where you can do everything basically. Yeah. There is an obsession with e-commerce on WeChat and on marketing and on financial services and on everything. And if I'm not wrong, WeChat was also one of the first company in China that get the bank license, the one of the first private bank license issued by the state. And yeah, but because here the elephant in the room is the engagement. You know, I mean, all the insurance companies huge problem when it comes to engagement of customer, and here we don't have. And yeah, and now we are going to start to discover the chapter 2, and the chapter 2 is a kind of nice overview of successful use cases on international level, because one of the key point of the digitalization, as we know, is that the digitalization is international. So it's super important to have a look on the more mature market and what is going on there. So I leave the floor to the panelist and the author of this white paper that will drive us in this chapter, Emanuele Di Marzio, Manik Gursahani, and Coralie Lentillon. And sorry, Manik and Coralie, if I misspell your surname.
Thank you very much, Gerardo. Thank you. I am Emanuele Di Marzio, and I work as an IT innovation manager at Europ Assistance Italy since some years. And I was very happy to participate to this initiative because I have a strong technical background, and also as a Europ Assistance Italy, while embracing this journey with the WhatsApp channel, with the enabling the WhatsApp channel, we focus at least in the first phase of our journey on the technical issue. So I think that I brought some our technical experience about the project we delivered, integrating WhatsApp channel within our infrastructure as a key point to be addressed or anyway analyzed when we approach the WhatsApp as a channel. As Pasquale already mentioned, WhatsApp, I like to call it like a clean channel because is something different from emails, is something different from other chat services as well. Since other chat services are free to use, are free to be used as channel to deliver messages or anyway to contact your customer, which is something that WhatsApp is not. But this enable the possibility for an insurance company to contact their customer and be recognizable with like a certification on the WhatsApp channel. And this is exactly what we appreciated and why we choose as Europ Assistance Italy this channel in order to provide our assistance services through this channel. As Europ Assistance, we work in insurance areas such as travel and car assistance, as well as health and home and family. In particular, our first use case while enabling the WhatsApp channel was about the healthcare. We thought that maybe giving the possibility to our customer to contact us while in they are experiencing health difficulties with the channel that is something more than voice only, that so enable our customer to send us images, geolocalization, and so interact in a very effective way, especially when you are abroad alone and you need in emergency assistance. It would be it would have been the right starting scenario to be addressed while talking and while thinking of enabling the WhatsApp channel. So as I said, Europ Assistance delivers these healthcare services, and we thought WhatsApp specifically for this use case scenario. Even if in the first months of this year, we also expanded the use of WhatsApp for other use cases, such as the customer care. Okay, so we let our customer to contact us using the WhatsApp channel. Talking about the technical journey that we embraced to enable the WhatsApp channel, and it is something I shared with the other participants to this initiative. Talking this technical journey, I want to say that it's not easy, especially because WhatsApp is a channel like is the incoming voice channel or any other channel, but this channel has to be handled some way. You have to take these messages and routing these messages to your workforce. Otherwise, WhatsApp is only a channel, and some companies maybe see WhatsApp just like another channel to expose another chatbot. Okay, but it's not so easy. The chatbot or the automatic handling of incoming messages is not the only way, and is not the more efficient one. Especially if you think of a case use like the one we enabled, because in the medical assistance, you need a live agent ready to answer your messages in the chat.
Emanuele, sorry.
Okay.
We have just a few minutes for each person.
Yeah,
so
yes, I finish. Okay, so just to close my speech, is very important to embrace this journey with a strong focus on the technical part. Thank you.
Hey, Emanuele. Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Manik Gursahani. I'm from India. I'm working for Xceedance Consulting Limited as a solution specialist. I had a very nice time working with all my participants in this white paper journey for WhatsApp. And while exploring various options, various other journeys which other insurers have gone through and studying those, it was quite interesting to know. So we actually were trying to cover a certain set of other insurers, other set of tech partners who have implemented WhatsApp business account as their kind of a solution in Asia or in Southeast Asia region mainly. We actually saw various examples, but few of those actually stood out quite a lot because they were like either the initial ones in their country or they were kind of like landmark implementations which they would have done. While we were discussing, while we were actually trying to find out those, we found like most of the insurers had few of their common problems which they were trying to sort out or which they were trying to solve with WhatsApp. Few of those problems which I can actually say like either like reducing their operation times or the service staff over phone, emails for the call center teams and all. Yeah, either it could be to reach out with ease with their local or regional customers, having the language preference expectations, which WhatsApp is able to do quite well. Handling operation challenges, which actually occurred quite a lot during the last year and this year due to the pandemic, lockdown, where relatively the operations were quite a lot hit and people were operating all over the phone or emails. So it actually helped over there also. And even in like for certain insurers, it also helped in expansion when they actually had to expand into certain regions, certain small towns and cities where they cannot reach out so easily by having their operations and all. So WhatsApp actually turned out to be a good digital channel for them. These insurers were either kind of like evolving with the current solutions or their new solutions which they did. So few of the insurers which we actually found were like Cigna Hong Kong, which was like one of the leading healthcare partners. Another one would be Bajaj Alliance India, Future Generali India, and there were various other examples, various other insurers in Southeast Asian and Asian market where WhatsApp is like kind of like having a challenge and having a kind of like a more opportunity also when they are competing with many other chat players like what we heard about WeChat also. In these kind of solutions, the major operations or major areas where WhatsApp turned out to be healthy out for these insurers were mainly towards customer onboardings, towards renewals, post-policy purchase queries, proposal confirmation, policy servicing, and even in certain aspects for claim processing. So these were more or less the areas where it has resulted very fruitful for insurers in implementing WhatsApp and carrying out these operations digitally. We have few more aspects with respect to the European, which my participant, one more participant, Coralie, would be providing those details. Over to you, Coralie.
Ciao a tutti, buongiorno, I'm Coralie, account executive of Zelros in Milan. Zelros is a software specialized in artificial intelligence for insurers and bank insurers. We help insurers to offer a personalized customer experience and improve their distribution. And we have offices in Italy, France, Germany, and Canada. I'm going to talk about AXA. So we know AXA very well because Zelros works with AXA in France to make the document processing and boost sales thanks to artificial intelligence. But today I'm going to talk about AXA in Belgium. It's the largest car insurer in Belgium, insuring almost 1 out of 5 cars in the country. Problem was most of the customers' aspirations were handled through the portal or through external channels like email. And the process of tracking and managing customer requests had significant operations difficulties. So AXA was the first insurer and assistance provider to offer the option to talk with agent via WhatsApp. From the testing phase, customers could use the messaging feature whenever they needed help purchasing a new car or home insurance online. And with WhatsApp, AXA partners also follows up requests for assistance at home or car assistance. Most of the questions faced via WhatsApp were about the replacement car, reputation or of a nice day, or about the repair of the vehicle. And the fact that AXA can smoothly guide the customer and add enhanced customer satisfaction levels. In fact, WhatsApp usage was also able to add value and boost the call center satisfaction. In France, Direct Assurance, a subsidiary of AXA, also understood the interest that WhatsApp and its 6 million users could have. This helped the insured people receiving response within 1 hour from the insurer they contact via WhatsApp. So in a nutshell, and rapidly in AXA, a client using WhatsApp is a satisfied client. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Emanuele, Manik, and Coralie. I'd like to close this chapter recalling things that Emanuele said, that is the importance to be aware about the complexity and all the technical aspect of this kind of integration that is not limited to an API integration with WhatsApp Business. I think from my point of view, that a very important thing is that a corporation need to be aware about its data model regarding the communication and all the workflow that are related. So I think that the analytical part of the job has a massive importance, because when you communicate through WhatsApp, you are you are touching a very close point of your customer. So you need to be spot on in all your work. And yeah, so the technical part is for sure an issue. And I'd like to introduce the chapter 3 that spoke about challenge for the Italian market, recalling just one point that in my opinion is very important. A drawback of the digitalization is also that the frauds are more complex, okay, and the thieves are more skilled, okay. So one of the issues that has been highlighted by the group of work regards the importance of the operator identification. And speaking of which, as Italian Insurtech Association, we are working a lot in order to remember to all the market that there is another point where Italy is a strong country, and that is the point of the digital identity. We have 18 million SPID, that is the state digital identity in the country. And I think that all the stakeholders of the ecosystem should enable their system in order to recognize customer and operator through SPID, because only if we have a certain level of confidence about the identity of a human being working in a digital environment, only starting from this point, we can start to discuss about the right and duties, because the identity is the origination of everything. And so now I leave the floor to Chiara and Ivano, sorry for the Ivano. I don't know why I told Ivano. To Chiara, Ivano, that will explain us the main topic that they found concerning the challenge for the Italian market in order to put on the ground a project of this kind.
Thank you, Gerardo, and hi to everyone. I'm Chiara Ghigo. I'm innovation specialist at the Reale Lab 1828. That is the lab for insurance and non-insurance companies of Reale Group. So in this chapter, we analyze what are the challenges in using WhatsApp in our market, and in particular in compliance with our regulations. We have identified 5 highlights that we must guarantee before starting using this channel, this or any other channel, but in particular, we're focusing on if WhatsApp are satisfying these 5 highlights. So I will start with the topic of data protection and security and the GDPR compliance, and Ivano will go on with data storage, operator identification, and service availability. So let's talk about security. The first question when you decided to start using WhatsApp is the channel secure? The answer with a good level of confidence is yes. This because everybody knows that anything is completely secure if it is online, but because WhatsApp chats are secured by an end-to-end encryption, we are confident that the level of security is really, really good. In particular, this encryption is secured by the use of 2 keys, one public and one private. And WhatsApp chose to guarantee more security from hackers' attack and more privacy is to leave known the private key only by the end user, so the recipient of the message. So this means that the message can be decrypted and can be read only by the recipients, and so the chat stays private. By the way, all the encrypted data, but also all the other data about the usage, the phone number, and other user data, the time, for example, transit on WhatsApp servers. But this is still not a problem because we are secured by the contract with WhatsApp Ireland Limits. So it's the company who provides the service to all European Economic Area. This company is different from the company USA and is specific for the European Economic Area to guarantee the compliance with the GDPR regulations. Anyway, we are aware that some data, like the usage of the service that is chat private or with businesses, the phone number and data and other data are shared with Facebook company. Even though at the beginning, in the 2014, WhatsApp said that work independently by Facebook, but it's still this strong relationship with Facebook. And also the new privacy policies that they are launching in this new year at the beginning of 2021 worried the users, and they starting to think that the WhatsApp data could have been used for marketing purpose by Facebook. Anyway, WhatsApp deny all these voices and guarantee that nothing changed for the European area. So, however, WhatsApp business terms and of service are constantly changing, and companies should also be aware of them to always protect their customer. But at the moment, we can say with a good confidence that WhatsApp is secure and it is GDPR compliant, so we can leverage on it.
Thanks, Chiara. Ivano.
Thanks, Chiara. Hello, everyone. I'm Ivano Corradini. As Chiara, I work with the innovation team of the Reale Group. In addition to Chiara's topics on security and GDPR, we talk about topics a little more technological that we have identified. For instance, how does WhatsApp manage data? WhatsApp declares not to keep messages, audio, video, and photo files in their system. In general, data is deleted after it has been delivered. And if not delivered, it's stored on their server for a maximum of 30 days. WhatsApp also states that in some cases they may retain this data for longer time with the only purpose of improving performance and making delivery more efficient. But in general, we cannot rely on them to recover data. Another point already Ramadoro talked about this is the identification of operators. So we have the case when our operators have a chat with our customer, there might be case where the operator has incorrect behavior or sends incorrect confidential information. Must therefore have the possibility to identify these operators and trace the exchange of information. So appropriate certified system must be used that save this information and make it available in read-only mode. Also, it is best to check the duration of the conservation of this data with your legal, because it depends on use case and so on. The last point is, what about the availability of WhatsApp services? Fortunately, even in the enterprise context, WhatsApp states that its service should not be used in emergency or where real-time interaction is required. They don't declare any availability of these services. Clearly, this undermines the use of WhatsApp in the healthcare context, the other use case, similar. And obviously, not having guaranteed continuity of the WhatsApp services is necessary to think of this service as a simple additional communication channel or simply as a facilitator in the context of communication with our customer. That's all. Thank you all for listening.
Thank you so much, Ivano. Thank you so much, Chiara. Yeah, we are a regulated market. We are a strongly regulated market. I had the opportunity to join executive training with the Silicon Valley Innovation Center this year, and where we exchange a lot of experience and use case with different Silicon Valley corporation and Slice, Amazon, and moreover. And yeah, the concept and the perception of the data itself in US from a business perspective is another planet. I read, if I'm not wrong, that the Germany recently enforced the privacy terms and condition of WhatsApp, and they say that they are open to close the service if they're not make some change on the terms. And yeah, so we have a lot of challenge, but this is the right time, in my opinion, to work also with the authority in order to find a good way to put on the ground this kind of technology and this kind of technological empowerment for our industry, because we should not forget that we have also all the regulation coming from the IVAS, that is the Italian insurance authority, that in somehow we should fit in the WhatsApp structure of workflow and data flow. And now we are arriving to the reason why we discuss all this point, and that reason is the chapter 4. So the benefit from WhatsApp channel and using WhatsApp in the insurance industry. And I leave the floor to Mike and Manik again, that will drive us into this last chapter.
Thank you, Gerardo. So I'll start once again on this one. For the chapter 4, which was a benefit perspective for WhatsApp, we actually found quite a lot over here also, while we actually explored in various areas. So basically, the insurers and a lot of IT vendors across the globe are actually working on very few essential aspects while building any customer-facing solution. Now, WhatsApp being as a platform which was expanded, and it came with a lot of approaches, with a lot of these implementation methodologies which came into. So it actually had certain set of technical improvements also, which were suggested. And now, not only in the WhatsApp, but we saw in many customer-facing channels and interfaces, we find these. For example, like virtual assistant with AI capability. Then we have the natural language processing, NLP, what we call it. That is actually helping in sorting all sort of responses to actually have the customer facing and customer experience relatively more smoother. Then automation part is being also as a healthy hand, which is coming out with all these channels, especially WhatsApp also. a set of fraud detection capabilities, which also comes along with it. And as my participant, Chiara actually mentioned about the GDPR, that also is something which is like across regions, whatever relatively the GDPR related aspects are there, that is also being covered. With respect to this, there is another area where WhatsApp has been thriving further and further, which is the payment channel. Same like Pascal told about WeChat Pay. So even WhatsApp is trying to bring the WhatsApp payment channel with their business account also. They have tried in several ways in many developing markets like India, Brazil, and all. But currently, they are still very limited. They are kind of like having challenges when actually implementing it in the commercial sector, when in the financial and banking sector, including insurance. The relatively every country is having their set of practices and policies which keeps on changing also. So it's very difficult for WhatsApp to actually establish itself as a payment channel. But apart from those, there are many other benefits which we actually covered, and I'll let my colleague Mike to summarize further.
A pleasure to meet with all of you today. I am the head of solutioning for Xceedance. I'm based in Chicago, United States. So looking forward to wrapping up the paper, and just I'm very respectful and appreciative of all the colleagues that have helped contribute to this research. So I think if you look at it in totality, the reason for the value of WhatsApp is, as stated earlier on in the presentation, is around market share, and particularly market share in the Italian marketplace. The tool itself has varied features and functions, which makes it very accommodating to being utilized for the insurance industry. And really what it brings is a couple of different advantages. First of all, as mentioned, the broad utilization of the tool. So market share is already there in existence. It's a familiar tool for users. But more importantly, it's transcendent across multiple insurance companies. So it eliminates the requirement for insurance companies to develop their own proprietary application and all the investment and maintenance that would go along with that. And then keeps people in a very familiar territory, has all the functionality needed to have customer engagement, and then also on the back end, all the way through payment and payment protocols to make it an extremely attractive option. In addition to the fact that it's decoupled from the carrier itself, so it can be utilized in such a way where maintenance and support are completely abstracted or not associated with the carrier's requirement for both expense and effort. There are, though, some considerations on the other side, on the disadvantages side. So these were mentioned just recently around data privacy and data protection. So there is a requirement then that the users of WhatsApp, particularly from the insurance company's point of view, will have to maintain and understand what the privacy statements are, what the protocols are for privacy, ensure that they are compliant with GDPR, and then make sure that all those regulations are complied with and followed. To that extent, it becomes very important that the carriers who are using WhatsApp as a feature and function, decoupled as it may be, it becomes even more important for the legal issues, and as mentioned, the regulatory issues, to make sure that there's no issues relative to data privacy breaches or data protection breaches. So it's important to take a perspective of both the advantages that we mentioned on the tool itself, but also the disadvantages, more so their considerations to be utilized as to what you're getting into in terms of ongoing maintenance and regulation, even though that you're separating yourself from the investment for the technology and the maintenance of that technology and how it works. You're also then dependent upon WhatsApp in terms of new features and functions that become available. And Manik talked about that just briefly, for example, on the payment utility. So there's a great deal of advantages to using WhatsApp, and there are some considerations to just be aware of, going forward. And with that, I'll turn it back to Gerardo as far as any potential Q&A that we have. Thank you.
Thank you, Mike. Thank you, Manik. Yeah, actually, we already received a couple of questions. And by the way, I mean, the last part of your your speech concerning the cons. I mean, it reminds me, this debate on the data and WhatsApp, it reminds me a little bit the debate on the cloud that we had like 3-4 years ago, no? So, but these servers are secure, where are the data, which are the security procedure? I mean, we are speaking about AWS and GWS. I mean, they have a tier 1 security system. It's 10,000 times more safe a server in a Amazon server farm than in my office here in Milan, no? And redundancy, you know, so I can find some similarity. And as the clouding is now a kind of standard and is accepted by everyone, I think that this kind of issue will be fixed. The first question is for Chiara. That is, it's not really a question. That is from Harry Gorin. Chiara, thank you for your insight on security and GDPR compliance of WhatsApp. I've always struggled to clearly demonstrate WhatsApp's compliance to GDPR. Do you have any document or information that you may share that support this? Thank you very much. And before let the voice to Chiara, I would like to remind to everyone that starting from tomorrow, you will find the white paper of this amazing group of work uploaded on the Italian Insurtech website. And if you do not have yet subscribed the newsletter of the Italian Insurtech Association, please do, in order to be always updated with this kind of news. So, Chiara.
Yes, Ari, the verification about the GDPR compliance has been done by the office of legal office that we referred in the IIA. So I don't know if it's possible to add something. Maybe we can add some links, some more detail referred to this part linked to the paper.
Okay, can you repeat the last part, Chiara? Because
yeah, we can ask all the detail, because I'm not the legal that I've done the verification with the GDPR.
Okay, so maybe we can integrate the white paper.
Exactly.
Okay, cool. Thank you so much, Chiara. And the other question that we received on the Q&A, I think that has been already replied by our panelists. And I have a question, the same question actually for Tommaso and Emanuele. And the question is, from a technical point of view and a data science point of view, when it comes to Tommaso, which is the main challenge, I mean, operationally speaking, in order to kick off this kind of project in a corporation, in an insurance company or an insurance broker?
Okay. Can I go for? Okay. From my point of view, there are two challenges. The first, find a good provider that you can interface your company with the Facebook infrastructure, because you can either go directly to Facebook, okay, but it's very difficult. Or you can integrate your infrastructure via this service provider. There are many, and you can choose one, and they will guide you with these technical integration challenges. The other challenge is to understand your infrastructure, your backend, in order to understand how to route and deliver the WhatsApp message to your workforce, to your operator. And this is the greatest challenge, because in our case at least, we had to develop some custom, very complex software in order to let our infrastructure, which is at the very core of our company, to to let this infrastructure to speak with the WhatsApp and Facebook API. So there are these two challenges.
Thank you so much, loud and clear. Tommy?
Yeah, so I think in general, in general is so the challenge, the real challenge is when you give the final user the option of choosing on how to get in touch. So and putting together different communication channels, that's the real challenge. Handling inbound communication and then outbound. Just scheduling communication going outbound is not that difficult in terms of data model, but giving the final user the option of choosing on how to interact and managing the client across multiple challenges. That's I think the biggest challenges in terms of data model and data in general.
Yeah, thank you. So a company need a very clear and structured database and a clear procedure system in order to allow to the final customer to be free to adapt to the multi-channel paradigm to itself. And speaking of which, a question for Mike, but also for Manik. In the pro of using WhatsApp, we have, I think, two big family. No, I mean, there is the customer service one. I will provide to you the service directly on your mobile. You don't waste time to download my app. You will just have what you need on your WhatsApp. And it's customer service poor. And there is also the marketing. You name it in the white paper, the ROI of the marketing operation. But my question is, do you think that the marketing on WhatsApp can be really successful? I mean, as a consumer, I'll be a little bit, pissed off if someone tried to sell me stuff on WhatsApp. So what do you think?
I think that, you know, with any social media product, the grand scheme or the intent of the tool can be maligned, you know, by trying to use it in a negative way. So if it turns into a vehicle for which you can just continue to promote and market activities, then I think individuals will be upset with that. I would be surprised though if they're not already in that vein where companies are trying to attach or promote through WhatsApp. I don't know if that's as large a risk that outweighs the benefits though. So I agree that there's some risk of that with promotion. But to be honest, here in the States, you know, most of the carriers, personal line auto carriers will in fact promote different items through their apps anyway. I have a Geico here in the States. So they will communicate different activities, you know, upgrade services, whatever the case is. So I think that there's the risk of that, but I think that I don't foresee it being upsetting enough customers where they'd get away with it. I think the advantages are the fact that you can use WhatsApp for not only your personal auto or motor, but you can also use it, you know, for other reasons. So you don't have to have multiple apps. I think one of the things that bothers people is having to have 100 applications to do, you know, 5 different things. So I'd rather have it the other way around, 5 applications to do 100 different things.
Thank you so much, Mike. Manik?
I second the thought of Mike. Actually, every app has its pros and cons, and the same way WhatsApp also has. But what I see in the different set of markets, even insurers are kind of like a little bit cautious when they are actually spreading and they are doing the marketing with using WhatsApp. So they have that kind of a cautious steps which they are taking right now. In few other nations like Singapore or Hong Kong, there is a marketing and material options check is there. So they cannot reach out to any promotional aspects unless and until the customer would have accepted for it. So a certain set of kind of regulations which are being done by certain regulators in different countries also helps in this case. So this will be handled. I don't think so they will upset the customers to that extent as we used to see in messaging and all.
Thank you so much. Very clear. And I have my last question for Pasquale and Coralie. I mean, the Zelros and Photocert basically as a business model, as a B2B, if we can say that, no? And can you see a concrete application of this kind of technology also in the B2B market using, for example, your company as an example?
Yes, thank you. Sorry, Coralie, you want to start first?
No, go ahead.
Perfect. Yeah, sorry, I should always say ladies first, but because there is no difference, that's okay. So so we are starting to use this approach of WhatsApp, starting with something that is very simple. Today, in order to make the insurance company to use our solution, for example, we send them an SMS. And based on the opportunity that also WhatsApp is providing, and especially for millennials, they are starting to not read any more SMS, even if maybe me and you are part of the SMS generation. We were very happy when there was the Christmas card for Vodafone, for example. By the way, we are also starting to send WhatsApp messages in order with a link where you can, for example, download the insurance company app that integrates our solutions. And that's a first example. And from there, you can also start to also have another opportunity of dealing with the user itself. So it is a part of a platform that we already have and that we are already distributing. And this opportunity of leveraging WhatsApp other than SMS, it's something that is helping.
And also the question, in Zelros, we can analyze vocal messages. The solution is voice to insight. So maybe we can work with WhatsApp to analyze messages, vocal messages, to understand the client, to hear the behavior of the customers, analyze. So yeah. Maybe later we can work with WhatsApp to analyze message from vocal messages and offer a customer experience, a better customer experience.
Yeah, clear. So yeah, so we have positive externality also for the B2B business model. Thank you, everyone. I'd like to thank you first of all of you in the group of work, because you did an amazing job. It's very high value white paper, and I would like to thank you, Yuri Poletto, to be for all the management of these activities, and all the Italian Insurtech community that join us this evening in this very interesting webinar that will be sent also to all the community registered and uploaded on YouTube. I wish you a wonderful evening, and thank you so much. We will see to the next webinar of IIA. Ciao.
Perfect. Ciao a tutti.
Ciao.
Ciao, ciao. Ciao, grazie a tutti. È stato un piacere.
Ciao.
Ciao a tutti.